Should we do a scan of the signs?
Yeah.
We're gathered here today outside the house of one of the top officials of Agudah and Sheldon of America, a gentleman at Talmud Chacham, Bal Chesed Bal Stuffer, who I spent over 2 hours on the phone with this past Thursday evening. And the reason we're here is because there's some sort of a political fundraiser where they wrote on the invitation special guest Sheldon Silver in large letters, which means they're honoring Sheldon Silver. It's a de facto sort of honoring that he's a special guest. It's a sign of coverage. We believe that in the aftermath of what he's done in his support of To'eva marriage, which he personally passed late at night, not allowing but a limited amount of a few hours of debate, and Agudah Israel of America themselves in a press release criticized Silver, not chas v'sholom for passing To'eva marriage. They criticized him that he didn't allow enough debate, which is a question on Agudah Israel also why they didn't do the obvious thing. It's like if a person dents your car and then he explodes it and you criticize him, why did you dent my car? It doesn't make any sense. If someone can explain it to us, we'd like to put him on the radio. But we're here today because clearly we shouldn't be honoring in any way Sheldon Silver. We don't say this on our own. Here's the letter for Moshe Feinstein. I'll read it in English to save time. In reference to To'eva laws in 1983 in the City Council of New York, we hereby declare that it is a sacred obligation upon every person to do everything in his power against, to influence each and every city council member, any politician, to vote against the bill. We demand that every councilman be present and not absent himself. It's not enough to say I'm absent from the vote, like Assemblyman Dov Heiken had done for many years on To'eva legislation and on anti-abortion legislation. But you have to be there, Dov Heiken. You have to be there and vote against it and actively work against it. Furthermore, we request all who heed our words, says Rabbi Moshe Tzal, to attend with their bodies. We attend the city council hearings for all the days of the hearings to show laharois golui, to show openly l'chol ha'amim, to all the nations of the world. In other words, this is an Indian of showing the non-Jews, she'am Hashem, that the people of God sonei to'eva, they loathe abomination, and he signs this in Augdah. The point is that if there are those in Agudah Israel who say that we have to support hate crimes legislation, then Moshe Feinstein says we have to show that we hate. We hate these activities. We hate these deeds. We hate the schmutz and how it's lowering the standards for us. Furthermore, it's not only Rav Moshe Feinstein, but we have here Das Torah. We have here Das Torah from some 33 Rabbanim, from the Tachtus HaRabbanim of the previous generation, and many other Gedolim, Hasidic Gedolim, including the Slen Rebbe today, including the late Rebbe Tzina Rav, many Gedolim who said it's absolutely forbidden not only to vote for these politicians, but to support them or to give them honor. It's a Chil Hashem, because then people will think, we turn the other cheek to this. We don't care about this. And we care very, very much. In 1985, when Mayor Koch came to dedicate Baba Promenade, I was personally there when Rabbi Agudah Miller Zatzal and the Kashrus Rav Zatzal sent down people to protest against a Jew who was not even religious, Ed Koch, who was known to be a shmutziak. And yet he sent down, they both sent down, and the Voidislav Rav Zatzal and the Skolenu Rebbe called up the Baba Barov and pleaded with him not to honor Ed Koch. And by the way, they called him only 3 hours before the event. So for those who say, parenthetically, the rabbis in Lipa, there wasn't enough warning, in this particular situation, there was a lot less warning, 3 hours before the event. And you see, this is what Gedolei Yisrael did. We are here today to honor and to honor these rabbis and to derive a kal v'chomer. If you have to protest against Ed Koch coming to the Orthodox community, when Ed Koch, we all know what he was, and kal v'chomer, when an Orthodox Jew supports this legislation, not only did he support it, not only did he promote it, not only did he pass it in one day, late at night, partial birth abortion, and on a separate occasion, To'eva marriage, but he didn't have the grace he didn't have the grace to abstain from voting, was to stand up and make a statement, I'm allowing this vote to take place, which we don't hold from, but he could have done a lesser of evils. I'm allowing this to take place, but I'm going to vote against it because I'm still an Erlich Yid. No. He didn't say, I'm allowing this vote to take place, but I'm going to abstain. He didn't say that either. What he said was he's promoting it and he's voting for it. Now this morning I met at a bris with a fine relative of Sheldon Silver, a gentleman in a Ventura who shook my hand and then said, I'm related to Sheldon Silver. He said to me something which I cannot accept in any way. He said, you don't know the facts. He said, Sheldon Silver consults with Reb David Feinstein Shlita, and that's where he has the heter to do this. He said that Reb Feinstein told him what amounts to a blank check. You do whatever your party requires of you to do. I do not accept this because we have the letter from his father, Zatzal Reb Moshe Yevod L'Chaim, and I cannot believe that Reb Feinstein is giving a blank check. I feel that somebody is lying to these relatives, and we're here to say if Reb Feinstein believes that, Torah he v'lilmod anitzarech, b'mokim sheyesh chishash chilul Hashem, in cholkin kavod l'rav, it is a chilul Hashem going around now that the Silvers are using Reb Moshe's name, Reb David's name in a wrong way. We call and plead with the Rosh Yeshiva to write and explain if it's true, if there's a blank check, if he authorized him that he could do whatever he wants, including voting or promoting this thing, and to put it in writing so that we can compare it to other Piskei Halacha from Gedolei Yisrael. This is the week of Amalek, the defeat of Amalek we just read about.
They're gonna ask you
Any of you have this car here?
Is that anybody?
That's nobody's, right?
This is the week of Klal Yisrael dealing with Amalek. If you look in Rashi, Asher Korcha Baderach, Amalek had to do specifically the worst part of Amalek. Asher Korcha Baderach, Loshin Keri Mishtav Zocher. Clear in Rashi, this is what Amalek was all about. They took the bris milah, the holiness of reproduction, they hurled it up in the sky, and they mocked HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're here because this kind of legislation, partial birth abortion, and same-gender marriage, is the biggest, it's the worst thing, it's Amalek, and we're here to protest against this kind of thing. And we turn to people to contact Sheldon Silver, to contact Reb Feinstein and ask him to come out because Sheldon Silver is hanging this very small yarmulke. He's hanging on Reb David Feinstein's shoulders. We feel it's inappropriate. Thank you very much.
It's a real thing in the back of your mind. What you're hoping to find is a real thing.